Hello, welcome to S-Tuner Car Builds, where today I'm building an Evo 6. Seeing as I ended off 2017 with quite a interesting build, I've decided to begin 2018 with an equally crazy build. I've sort of gone for a sort of standard, first I was just going for a standard sort of track car build, put in like a roll cage, also made a 4-door so it's a proper Evo, rather than just a sort of Lancer with a body kit. But things started getting crazy. So I put in a roll cage, shrunk it a bit so that it fit in, put on all the standard Evo body parts, just put on the regular Evo 6 parts, didn't want to do anything particularly crazy. The wheels I went for are Tarmacs. I assume those are, I can't even remember what they are. But yeah, engine obviously inline 4. Just sort of looking at how to align it properly. It was sort of getting the right orientation. I ended up turning it around and mirroring it. And I saw a high mount turbo that was really high mount. So that gave me ideas. I swapped the bonnet to the one without the line sort of going through it, the little sort of piece of bonnet going across, so I just had a hole and decided to mount the turbo out of that. The exhaust pipe I then decided should go along the bonnet because why not? Working with the sideways engine meant that sort of the controls were slightly flipped, like left and right was forward and backwards, I think, or something like that. Anyway, I take the engine out to add on the piping. I end up just going straight from the turbocharger to the intake manifold. I sort of just forgot about a intercooler, which, kind of a shame, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter so much. I mean, I sort of just want to get this done fairly quickly. I feel like adding an intercooler would have added on a good, sort of 10 minutes onto the build, and I didn't particularly want to make over an hour long build, so this was about 50 minutes, I think it took total, 52 minutes, I think, exactly, and I think it turned out pretty well, considering, like, sort of the time it took me and the amount of detail. Anyway, I just put the engine back in, sort of have to align it properly so that the turbo doesn't sort of cut through the bodywork. The bonnet isn't exactly openable, but it's fine. Anyway, in terms of interior, just sort of put on standard stuff, adjust the seat so it doesn't clip through the roll cage, and then, just sort of put in some seats at the back so there's no hole, standard steering wheel, and the sort of stripped out interior. Just put on a random gear shifter, and then decide to make the engine chrome, or just sort of chrome it out, make it look shiny, a bit more presentable. I decided to go with sort of like a standard Evo colour, sort of a kind of slightly orangey yellow, sort of more of an Evo 4 colour, I suppose, but it looks good on here, I think. Not my sort of favourite shade of yellow, but I think it still looks good. And sort of, this was fairly popular for the Evo, or for the early gen Evo. Anyway, now things start getting crazy with a massive front splitter, with some huge canards. I then remove all the sort of supporting struts on. Then onto the wing. I decided to keep the standard one and just sort of mount another wing on top of that. And because double wing is good, technically triple wing there. And sort of rotate it forward slightly, a bit more angle. I copy it, put it back into place, and then decide to add another spoiler. I was originally going to sort of add another taller one behind it, sort of bumper mounted, but when it turns out that sort of adjusting the height would mean that I'd have to adjust a lot more things, I decided not to. So I just take away all the struts and make a roof spoiler. Now I know that technically, sort of because of the positioning, it would sort of knock all the airflow out of the rear spoiler, but shush, it's fine. It's completely perfect. Then add a diffuser at the back, which not really much to say. Put on some wheel arches. First car I think I built for this series with wheel arches, just sort of mounted on fairly normally. You make them as wide as possible, basically just apply the same settings, but reversed. Well, reverse left right there. The front arches kind of cover the front doors, so that doesn't entirely work, but it's fine. Then the rear arches, I mean, they sort of fit less nicely, but I still go with them, and then just remove that sort of extra bit on the back there. Apply the same settings to both of them, adjust the stance, and put 325 tyres on them, because, I don't know, massive. Actually, I think, yeah, I go down to 315s, something slightly more sensible. Put slick tyres, I think I end up deciding on. No, I go with semi-slicks, and then I make all the aero bits matte black, I'm pretty sure, yeah. The wheels, then again, black, and then just sort of looking around it, really. That's all there really is to this build. Went some slightly crazy things. Oh yeah, I added an intercooler going out the front. My original plan was to put some air filters there, out the front, sort of fog lamps, but ended up going with an intercooler mainly because I could connect that all up and it would make more sense, rather than having to sort of drive a pipe or send a pipe right up to the turbocharger to make logical sense. So, just pretend all the intercoolers sort of piped up properly and it'll all be good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this rather crazy build, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Until next video, goodbye.